All right, welcome back. It's not actually a Friday as I'm recording this, it's a Sunday, but this is our Civ Fridays event. Even though we're on a different day of the week, we're going to be continuing with Mansa Musa game. This is going to be part 3. This will not be quite as long as some of the other streams that I've done, but we are going to try to run for about 2 hours here and pick up where we left off last time. So to give you a quick recap, if you missed the previous stream or if it's been, a week or however long since you saw it, in the second part of the stream we had a much better result than in the first part, which was, first stream I did was pretty rough and we had to do a restart. In the second part we were able to successfully land the Petrol Wonder, and that combined with getting a golden age allowed me to start pumping out settlers left and right. So Mansa is really starting to take off at this point.
Just as the young apprentice learns to carry a sword, so shall you grow to understand your place in this world.
Mansa is very slow starting.
Great king of Mali,
in Civ 6.
you are blessed with wealth beyond comprehension.
It's doing image of radius crossed out. I probably should.
Raise your eyes from the marketplace to the heavens and satisfy your heart's great yearning for peace. Protect the prosperity of your people, and history will write your name in golden letters.
I always feel like I need to not talk when it's loading, because if you hear me talking and you hear Sean Bean talking, then it's really like obnoxious because you're hearing two things at once. So yeah, the overview of Mansa Musa in general, he is slow to get started in Civ 6 because he has the big production disadvantage. He has the minus 30% to production of units. But if he can, once he kind of gets going, he starts to become very strong, because once he starts piling up this kind of money, it's pretty crazy. Because we're already up to 180 gold per turn, and that's only going to keep growing as the game goes on. Just a quick peek at our favorite city, $signs. This city is so ridiculous. It actually has tons of food. So it's, what is it? It's size 9. That means it requires 18 food. It's actually getting another plus 18 food per turn beyond that. It's just being held back by a lack of housing. So that's why we've got the aqueduct under construction. We only just finished the aqueduct right now. All right, so I note that I am 1 turn away from finishing machinery. I actually don't want to finish machinery, and that's because I want to be able to build archers and upgrade them into crossbows later. So I'm going to hold off on that, finishing it for the moment. What is this? This is a new wonder. I'm not familiar with that. Plus 3 envoys. When you're suzerain of a city-state, the city receives a 15% bonus to the type bonus. Alright, that doesn't seem that great. It's mostly you're just building it for the additional envoys. So, at some point we're going to need to finish this because it allows land units to embark, and that's kind of silly not to be able to have that right now. Education. Education wouldn't be bad. I think I want to go for this one because I'd like to be able to see the Niter resources. What does this unlock? Bonus culture for the Great Wall improvement. Okay, I don't think I need that. So this is where the new Courser unit is located, which is what horsemen upgrade into. And this, oh, here's my unique unit. I should probably build some of them at some point. How are they different from normal knights? Looks like they're slightly stronger, because knights are normally 48. They're 49. Trader units are immune to being pillaged, and you get gold if you kill units with them. And we'll probably need to train some of them at some point. Alright. So, Suleiman likes me. Liverpool's facing a siege. Oh, Liverpool was actually recaptured. This was taken by Alexander earlier. It looks like Eleanor was able to recapture it. And we don't have visibility on the Aztec versus Ottoman War at the moment. Alright, so at the very end of the last session, we rebased a trade route to Desert Oasis. We're going to send it to what is by far our best city, $signs. 3 food, 3 production, 2 gold. And this will also get us a road. Although apparently the road's going to run up here via the mall, which is a little weird, but whatever. So now look at Desert Oasis. Now the city... you know what, this city really is going to need to expand culture. We probably just need to get a monument in here because otherwise we're going to run out of tiles to work super fast. And we have enough money to do that, so why don't we just do that immediately? Otherwise the city's not going to have tiles to work. Yeah. While we're here, you can go mine this tile. So it'll have something else to work. Now you are coming up here to harvest this, and then we're going to dump an aqueduct there, from what I remember. I also am going to need to get an encampment somewhere. Like, I don't need to build this encampment for the boost for military training, but I am going to need to get one at some point because there's a fair number of boosts that do require you to have an encampment. Ironbag seems like a logical place to build an encampment too, just because it's already building military. Maybe the reason Mansa's empire is so rich, he manages to get everyone to go to work on a Sunday and pretend it's a Friday. This unit's coming down here to that spot, which will be the next spot. This settler was going here, I think. Or no, I think this settler is going down here. All right, you are still exploring. You have the faster movement in woods. I'm not sure which is the better way for this unit to go scouting. Like west or east. I guess we'll head back here for the time being. See, it's down here. This is the poor unit that's been running away from the barb camp there for ages. Alright, and I just want to check what policies I'm in again. Serfdom, natural philosophy. I'm actually not training that many builders. I could probably drop serfdom at the moment. Oh no, I want serfdom because when I found a city, I'm going to get the extra builder charges on establishing a city. So that probably should stay in place for the time being. A lot of aqueducts are going up right now. Yeah, that's fine. New volcano. All right. Someone called a special session of the World Congress. I wonder if it has to do with this ongoing war. So if you've been watching the military strength, Alex is down slightly. Eleanor is up slightly. The Ottomans seem to be slowly losing their war. Can I rename that warrior to Forrest Gump? No, you actually can't rename... a unit has to be level 2 to rename it in this game. So we do want to improve that tile. In the meantime, though, I can probably improve a tile at the mall, potentially. Although I guess all of the mall's tiles... Oh no, this stone tile's not improved, is it? That might be a tile I want to put a campus district on later, though. We'll see. Because like I can probably get over here and... Well, even if I do replace it later... Jeez. Just because this would be a good tile for a campus, since it's next to... Well, you know what? I could probably put a campus here later on, and that would... I could always put the campus here. That's just as good of a bonus, and it wouldn't involve bulldozing that tile. So why don't you come over here, and we'll improve that, quarry that tile. All right, so here we go. We're going to harvest this. Uses up that builder. And then that'll allow us to toss the aqueduct down. What the? Why can't I put an aqueduct down here? Why? Why can't I put an aqueduct here? That tile should be aqueduct eligible. What is with this game? And they've completely changed the rules about where aqueducts can go. This was an aqueduct eligible tile. There's no reason why you can't put it here. The rule is it's supposed to be next to a river or next to a mountain. This is next to a river. It makes no sense why I can't put it here. I don't understand. Like, I deliberately burned that charge so that I could do that. I do not understand. Like, the rules have clearly shifted to something else, and it doesn't make any sense. Also, it says 2 turns till loss, but that's a lie. This town actually has enough food to support a size 7 pop. I don't know. I'm just definitely annoyed by that. All right, so anyway, we're heading over to this side. No, it's, I mean, I'm fine with clearing that tile. That wasn't an especially good tile anyway. It's just, I don't get it. Like, now I do not understand the rules for aqueduct placement. They don't make any sense now. This unit's just hanging out here to fog bust. So, we're gonna get the military engineering boost here when this aqueduct finishes. All right. What's the emergency session? I am not party to this emergency. Alex and Monty both voted it down. Okay.
If it's natural to kill.
Alright. So we can change policies here. So, let's see if there's anything we want. I definitely would love to get into a government that has more policy slots. This is probably okay for the time being. Like this one and this one are not tremendous, but I'm not seeing anything else I would want. The only other thing I can think of would be to get more production on units. Like I could get more production from units here and just get out a couple archers. That might not be the worst suggestion. Like we could drop caravansaries. We are making tons of money. Where is Here it is, natural philosophy. I don't know why it took me so long. We'll just train. We could just train a couple archers here for upgrading later. We certainly will have no shortage of money because like money bags can now just get like maybe 2 or 3 more archers for upgrading because we're soon to get crossbows and they are much more expensive to build. Alrighty, civics tree here. So again, we're doing pretty well with civics. I guess we're officially behind, but the one that we wanted was this, plus 100% commercial hub district adjacency bonuses. That'll be quite nice. Oh yeah, and I wanted this for the cheaper upgrades, 50% resource discount. Or actually this, professional army, although this, if you're going to do upgrades, you might as well use both retinues and professional army at the same time. So yeah, we do want to get that. That's a safety thing, in case someone would actually attack me. Alright, Mint, let's have you do the same thing. We'll just do 1 round of archers out of iron bags, mint, money bags, and then after that we can stop. Alright. So I wanted to pick up, oh shoot. I was going to drop the 2, you know what, we actually do need to, I was going to drop in the 2-for-1 policy at non-Modol, wasn't I? Alright, let's just reload this save so I can put in the 2-for-1 policy. It's worth it to get an entire extra envoy just for putting in another policy for like 3 turns. Should have seen that. Forgot that I was also going to get an extra envoy when I discovered that Civic. I try to avoid reloading, but for something that's like a minor mental mistake like that, I don't mind.
Mansa Musa, great king of Mali, you are blessed.
Alright.
Those who in quarrels
Alright, so literally the same thing as before. We need feudal contract, which fortunately does boost ancient units now. So this policy previously, when feudal contract only boosted medieval and Renaissance, it didn't boost ancient and classical like a Gouge does. It was really obnoxious. Anyway, this is the one we want, and then we need the. There we go. All right, so there we go. Now we can go here, put in. We get the 2-for-1, and then when Amani is established, we'll become suzerain, and then we'll get more culture for any districts that are next to the coast or next to a lake. Which isn't many, but it's some. We should be able to get the civil service grossity to 10 pop. Dollar signs is going to hit that pretty quickly. And then we'll drop the 2-for-1 policy in 4 turns. Alright, so as I previously said, Moneybags does need that aqueduct, but let's get the archer out now. And then Mint will get its archer out. No, I don't want the religion lens here. Okay. So we've got another envoy here too that we could drop in if we wanted. I guess Fez, that'll make me suzerain. which is nice for the arrow score if nothing else. And it also gets me more science. Now, I don't have a lot of campuses. What's the specific bonus now that you get? +2 science in every library building. Okay, I don't think I actually have any library buildings. I don't think I've built a single library yet, so I will need to do that. Where is Fez on the map, by the way? Over here. Okay. Well, hey, at least now I can see where that barbed skirmisher is. And there's a hut. I gotta go get that hut. Well, yeah, why don't you go ahead for that hut? Anyway, probably worth it for the arrow score alone. Hi, Holy Elvis TV. Is it Friday? It's not actually Friday. It is not actually Friday. Yeah, so this city will then be able to grow into this tile once the aqueduct finishes. The mall is really helping with all those natural wonder tiles. Alright, you just hang out there for the time being. Alright, so we'll grab that spot in a turn or two. Oh, hey, this is where... I guess that's as far as you can go this turn. This is Ottoman territory? Yeah. Ottomans. It will be nice to be able to see where the Niter resources are located. How many turns for an archer? Alright, so yeah, in 3 turns, when Mercenaries finishes, we'll have 3 archers out. And then we can stop there. That'll be good for military for the time being. Alright, fortunately it doesn't look like there's any barbs here in the immediate... for the immediate time. Wow, geez, Make It Rain has already almost finished its its Suguba. Those things are really ridiculous, aren't they? And it's still growing super fast too. I swear the combination of trade routes plus these new cities, it's pretty amazing. Now, I don't have a trader free for every new city. Like, I don't have a trader free for this one, but it won't take too much longer. Trade routes are really good. Oh, geez, and I'm actually now ready to purchase a new settler in this city too, so why don't we do that? There, we just ticked over 640 while I'm thinking about it. What's the next one? Only 700, yeah, geez. So like right now I'm spending almost all my money on expansion, but at some point I'm going to reach the point in time where expansion's not needed as much, and then I can start like improving my existing cities. So yeah, now the city, again, I really needed the monument here so that the city would start expanding borders. Because like now we'll get that salt resource in view. Yeah, I know you're at the housing cap. That's why I'm building an aqueduct. That was the whole point of getting the aqueduct, was so you'd be able to grow. Alright, so I'm going to see what the borders of the Ottomans are. Looks like they're... like this desert area is kind of the edge. That could be like a natural border between us. Also, Omani's going to establish there in like one more turn, and then we'll have the non-modal bonus. I don't know how much that's going to be, but we'll get some era score for that too, which will be nice. Aqueduct must be between the city center and a freshwater... Oh, geez. Okay. It still doesn't make any sense, though, why you can't build it here. Like, the rule previously was always it has to touch... Okay, I mean, I see what you're saying, but, like, then why could I build an aqueduct here? Oh, because of the mountain. So it didn't even connect to the river here, it connected to the mountain. I see. That is still weird that they would change the rules in an expansion like that to make them less straightforward. So we get arrow score for that too. Oh yeah, Mint is slowly starving here, that's right. So we should probably now that it actually has enough housing, we should rearrange the tiles. Yeah, so that you can actually grow now. That makes total sense. Alright, that looks good there. Mahabadi. Rain is alleviating drought there. Liverpool has been conquered and recaptured repeatedly, but now Geneva's under attack too. We discovered Mount Kilimanjaro. Where do we do that? I have no idea where we discovered Mount Kilimanjaro. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, I'll take +1. Take the +1 era score. Yeah, so now we became suzerain of Non-Madol for the time being. So we got more vision over there. Like I said, I don't think I have very many districts that are actually next to lakes. I guess oases don't count. Good question whether Geneva would be liberated or annexed. I would guess annexed, but I don't know for sure. Alright, so we're not that far behind Sendiak. Let's get this so I can actually allow my land units to embark. Alright, so you... Alright, yeah, look, it can actually grow in 3 turns now. You are probably going to need another builder, to be honest, because I'm going to need these tiles to be improved. The other nice thing about having Pingala in this city is Pingala is producing +1 culture per point of population, so the city is actually pumping out a ton of culture. Oh hey, there's a niter resource out there in the 3rd ring. Nice. So the city will be able to keep expanding. Unfortunately, it's not grabbing these desert hill tiles, which is what we actually want. Since this is a Petra city, the tile picker doesn't realize that it should be grabbing these tiles, but it is going to grab this niter tile in the 3rd ring, and that's pretty nice. Anyway, so what would it be in terms of districts? Or alternately, let's see. Yeah, builder is probably good, and then I can work on the infrastructure. I'm going to need it to improve tiles here and also at the capital. And I am running the policy that gives extra builder charges right now. All right, so we finished the... what is it? We finished the... what word am I looking for? We finished the commercial district, yes. Yes, and so now we're going to need a monument, because otherwise the city will not be able to grow and expand tiles. Oh, there's a niter resource right there too. Cool. So this city will get grabbed next turn. I'll probably cash rush a monument in this city, just because I'm going to need it to expand borders. I also might cash rush markets in some of these cities that are new, because I've been trying to purchase them with faith, but it has not been keeping up with the supply. I want to try to keep getting trade routes. Like I want a trade route for each city if possible. Anyway, so go ahead and mine that tile. There we go. Yeah, so like this city is now basically keeping up with, like the borders are expanding as the city grows. I will need housing though. Unfortunately, that's the only eligible tile for an aqueduct. Again, because it touches then the oasis. I see the rules. All right, so now I understand the rules. I don't understand why they changed in this expansion, but at least I understand them. And you can come over here to this spot and settle there. So that's a pretty decent spot for a city too. So then we got to think about where the next city goes after this, right? So there's a lot of dry territory down here. Maybe something over here along this coast, perhaps? Because we'd probably like to settle on each of these coastlines. Or ultimately we could go over here. This is mostly desert, but Mali actually can settle desert without too much trouble. Like this wouldn't be a bad spot. This spot right here. Very, very dry, but with a food trade route, it would be okay. And there are some stone tiles up there on the northern coast. Still, this is kind of a wasteland area. Probably can wait there until later. It's probably more useful to continue expanding down here to the south, where the land is much richer. Just a little bit dry in a lot of these spots. Oh yeah, you can just chill there. Oh, that was over a river? I was like, wait, what? Why did I lose my movement points? Anyway, so yeah, you're going to grab that. We've managed to scout out most of the... Well, maybe not most, but a good portion of the world. And once I can embark units, I can start working on the rest of it. He did free Geneva. He did liberate Geneva. Now, did my envoy from earlier get retained there? No. So I had one envoy in there earlier, but it got wiped out. They have a really nice suzerain bonus. 15% science when you're not at war with any civilization. Of course, Alex is the suzerain now because he liberated it. So yeah, he brought Geneva back to life again. Yeah, England's not going to be expanding there anytime soon. That seems pretty safe. So this city is actually not at the housing cap, but it's struggling. Definitely could use some builder attention. Sadly, there's not a lot of... The capital is actually not that good in this game. Like, there's not a lot of hill tiles here. There's not a lot of production here. It's just, it's really not that good of a city, unfortunately. So, like, I could build the aqueduct, but I'm not even at the housing cap right now, so there's not much point. I could try to build a great library, but this is not a very good wonder in this game. Boosts all ancient and classical era technologies. By the time you reach that point, it's kind of pointless. So, did we build the... Here's a good question. Did we ever build the library here? Okay, I did build the library, so the library is getting the benefit. Alright. I guess I could do the workshop and just start on that long term. Probably better to do the monument, though, because it's much cheaper. Get +2 culture. Yeah, traders can deal with food issues. So here is a city that... Alright, so just finish the aqueduct. Should probably do the harbor. And we could potentially put something else down very cheaply here. Because look how cheap all these other districts are. Like the harbor is only 6 turns. That's already down on the map. So we could put a campus down here for +2 adjacency. What else could I get? Theater, Theater Square wouldn't be bad either because it's near a natural wonder. But we can always put that down later. I'm not putting down a Suguba here because I've already got the harbor. I don't need to double up on both of them. How about Holy Site? That can be good too. Next to a natural wonder. Although I don't really want to eat it. Yeah, like this would be a great tile, but I don't really want to use up this tile. Even though it'd be a great spot for a Holy Site district. Like I said, I really should put something down here. Campus is the most expensive, but the campus is also probably what I need the most. Holy Site should be placed next to Sugubas because the Suguba gets an adjacency bonus for being next to a Holy Site district. So that's probably not good for this spot, as I said before. And it would be better to put one of these down now before the cost increments up. Yeah, I think campus is the way to go. Come back to that later. So we're going to do the harbor first. That was just to keep locking the cost now before it gets more expensive. It is nice to have enough money that I can just do stuff like that. Right. So how many charges do we have left on this guy? 2 builds left. I could chop you know what I can do? I can chop this and mine it. Either that or wait for Desert Oasis to expand borders. Also a possibility. Yeah, Desert Oasis can potentially train a builder next. Let's see if we can chop and mine that with the last 2 charges. Or I could just mine actually no, let's mine this tile and then we'll use the last charge on that niter at Desert Oasis. Save that forest for the time being. Do the campuses get benefit for being next to natural wonders? It's a good question. I thought that they did, but maybe not. Also, chat, you guys, we need a name for this city. So we need a suggestion for this city. So aqueduct there. And Suguba on this tile here. So the 2 of them are next to each other. Alrighty, there we go. Cha-ching, I like it. That's the sound an old school cash register makes. Good suggestion. Let's do the extra exclamation point too. Just for fun. So this city will not grow as fast because it does not have a trade route at the moment. But what we can do, let's see, is this a hill tile underneath here? Yes. What we can do, since we have 6 full charges here, is we can clear the jungle, and then we can clear the jungle, and then that'll give it extra population, and like an extra population point, and also give production. And I also want to cash rush monuments in here too, so it'll start expanding borders. Because there's a lot of really good tiles in the area, we just have to grab them. Alright, so the question is, where do we want to send our next city? Because like over here on the coast looks pretty good. This looks like a pretty good tile for a city. And we can even there's coffee there, dang it. I was going to say we can even aqueduct over to this mountain, but there's coffee that would stop that. So maybe that's not quite as good as I was hoping for. I don't think I can build an aqueduct over that. It's probably still worth grabbing, but goes down slightly. That won't be forward settling. I don't care if it is forward settling. And then this tile over here looks good. That one, this one for sure. Let's pin that. It's a dry spot, but the local terrain's pretty darn good. And we can use a harbor to get Harbor District for some extra health. This area is really dry, so it's not particularly viable. Although I guess we could put an aqueduct down. That spot is still likely the best location, even though it's not going to have much health. So I guess I'll put a pin there for now too. But because of the lack of housing, it's more of a long-term location. And then we'll see from there. We already have this settler's already on its way to that spot. We're going to have to invest some... I guess there's no spot for an aqueduct here, so we'll have to use a harbor district for health here as well. Anyway, yeah, so you, Archer, just hang out here for the time being. You're just there to defend against any barbs that might pop up. Oh, 75 gold, okay. Why don't you fortify and heal then? So yeah, we're looking better and better. Again, we haven't quite caught up to Korea yet, but we've certainly caught up to everyone else. And the fact that we have way more population than the other leaders is definitely helpful there. It's like, look at the number of the city list. Oh, I guess she has quite a good city list too. I thought I was under the impression I was starting to out-expand the leaders, but I guess Korea not quite yet. We have one more city than her. So she's been doing a great job too. The AI has definitely gotten better here in this expansion as opposed to the pre-expansion days. So let's see if we can get a better deal for that. So I've got, basically what that just told me is I have an excess salt that the AI is interested in buying. Alright. So iron bags. You, let's see, it doesn't need housing. Doesn't need housing at the moment. So campus would probably be a good thing to work on here. 11 turns. Not the fastest, but okay. Do need to keep working on science. Mint. The city is now growing again. The city could use some builder labor, to be honest. It's either that or work on the... Also could do the market. I've been trying to purchase the markets with faith, but like I said, I can't keep them all up fast enough. Or I could get the amphitheater. I will need amphitheaters later. I will probably end up purchasing a lot of amphitheaters, though. They're not cheap, but, I mean, my income is just growing and growing and growing. Alright, why don't you work on the market? I am going to have a builder here. Some of the extra charges can probably come over here to this area. Alright, while we're thinking about it, let's change our policies. So we don't need this anymore. We don't need this anymore. We can go back to this. And what's the last one I want here? I'm not upgrading units just yet. No need to upgrade until you actually need them for combat. Although I am at the max stockpile for iron and horses, so. Probably this, the +2 gold on all trade routes, is probably what I want then. So we did also get another envoy here. I think that I will work towards getting the 6 envoy bonus. I don't care to be the suzerain, but getting the 6 envoy bonus would be worth a lot. Well, I guess it wouldn't yet, because I don't have any banks. They did change up how this works. Still, we will have banks eventually. Interesting. So I see how they shifted this. Okay. Maybe we should start working towards Geneva then. Yeah, maybe I should start working towards Geneva then, because the 6 envoy benefits aren't really that worthwhile yet. I don't have like the tier 2 buildings. Okay. So I guess I'll save my envoy and drop it in Geneva for the 2-for-1 policy, which I just switched out of, by the way. I'm not going to reload for that, though. All right. So we will get the boost for civil service next turn. Oh, what happened? Did they take the meritocracy policy out of the game? Or am I forgetting where that's located at? Meritocracy was one of the game's best policies before. I don't see it here. It used to be at civil service. Maybe they'd remove that one because it was overpowered. Anyway. This one, the plus 100% commercial hub district adjacency bonuses will be really nice for us. So we would want to pick that up. So the only things we're missing here are theology, which we'll come back to at some point just to pick up the envoy. And it could be worthwhile to get into... Could be worthwhile to come here just to get divine right, just to get monarchy government, just for the additional policies. But we're not very far away from exploration, so we can actually research that right now if we wanted to. Well, we'll get there soon enough. That is a more useful one for us. This government gives you extra gold, extra production towards district, so it's like definitely better. Definitely better government for us. All right, we can now finish machinery. Now that we've finished building those archers. Yeah, I've got a lot of archers over here. That's because this is the only direction from that an attack could realistically come from. If I were to get attacked, I would upgrade these to crossbows. But for the time being, Korea apparently has lost some of their military strength, and they are the only one that borders me. So if I don't need to pay for military, I shouldn't pay for it. Military is expensive in this game. Alrighty, so we're going to bulldoze this for the extra food and production. Yeah. So just like that, the city now has gotten much closer. And I could potentially buy a monument here, but I might not need to. We'll see. It helps that this city has the culture right there. Has innate culture coming in, so it's a little bit less needed. Oh, there's a great general over here. Anyway, so I have extra resources to sell. Let's see if who's willing to make a deal for him. He won't, because he already has salt. $58 now, that's terrible. Someone will offer more than that. Yeah, 11 gold per turn, that's probably the most, but we'll see if anyone else can make a better offer than that. I doubt it, but we'll see. Almost as good. We'll remember Eleanor as a future customer, too. Alright, so she has the same. I'd probably... probably don't want to give more happiness out. All right, I already checked with him. I don't want to give more happiness to Korea if I can avoid it, because Korea is like doing really well. So Monty, you had the best price. All right. And will he give me... Wait, what the... Okay. Sure, why not? 11 gold per turn for something I'm not using? Sure. We'll take it. Is the score discrepancy between Mansa and the AI significant? No. Basically, I've kind of caught up to everybody except Korea. Like, if you can see the science per turn, I'm still behind. I'm ahead of everyone else, though. Obviously, I'm behind militarily, but I could increase this military strength very quickly. Like, I could double that in a flash. And the AI sucks at fighting in this game, so... Dollar signs grows, and its people take pride. That was first time getting something to size 10. All right, so we should be fine to get a golden age in the next era. We haven't even gotten the notification yet that it's 10 turns remaining. So I think we're pretty safe on that. And now we've already hit the health cap again, or housing cap again. All right. So what do I want to push towards next? Banking wouldn't be bad to get these banks in play. I'll have Guild Civic pretty soon. +1 production per quarries. This would be nice too. All units can navigate ocean tiles. Venetian Arsenal, one of the most broken wonders in the game, but not useful for this map in particular. I do need to sit down at some point and think through, like, what do I really want to push towards? I mean, one of the long-term goals is we'll want to build this Eiffel Tower, all tiles gain +2 appeal, which is a really important one. This, oh no, not the mountain tunnel, radio for ability to build seaside resorts. Really, really important if you're going for a cultural victory. And doesn't computer get... Oh, okay, so they've nerfed computers considerably. Computers previously gave you +100% tourism across your empire. They've nerfed that down to +25%. It's a little broken that this tech that you could easily beeline. Now you have to go through electricity and radio, but previously you didn't even have to go through radio. You could just go to electricity, then computers, and it would give you 100% bonus tourism. Was really, really overpowered in that regard. So we will need to head down there eventually, but obviously that's still pretty far down the road. In thinking about what we actually want or need right now, like education to get universities going. Universities are very, very expensive, but they do provide one more housing, and they do provide a big bonus to science. 4 science is nothing to sneeze at. So a lot of that stuff is useful. So we probably do... there's nothing here that's like inherently something we really need. So I think we just continue going through the tree for the time being. Like, we haven't earned a great scientist yet, but I guess we're not going to get any because Korea has hogged all of them. And that's my unique unit. I would definitely get more era score for building my unique unit. But we'll hold that off for the time being. All right, so Eastwatch finished the builder. Why don't you do the library? The library is actually worth 4 beakers, which is quite a bit. 2 for the base amount, and then 2 more because we have 3 envoys with Fez. So that's why I want to get 3 envoys with Geneva, so every library is then be worth 6 science instead of 2 science. This builder definitely should mine this tile. There we go. It'll grow onto that tile next turn. This city has just awesome tiles. Really cool stuff. Also, the aqueduct, look at that, 9 housing. That is with a granary and an aqueduct. But, and by the way, see the aurora up there? Cool little effect. Yep, as Dark Kuno said, the libraries are really valuable. Okay, so what tiles are you actually working right now? Well, why don't you mine that tile? And then we can work on these quarries. You know, these for other civs, it might be worthwhile to quarry these, but for Mansa Musa, his mines are just so much better than his quarries. I probably should harvest these stones, honestly. Also get that city off to a really fast start. Can you upgrade Manda College Cavalry? No, you upgrade them... Or yes, you can, because they're knight replacements. So yes, that's correct. Maybe I should get... I should probably just get one... should probably get a chariot and then upgrade it, as opposed to building the knight, which is vastly more expensive. Like, money is cheap for me. Production is what's expensive. And the chariot's only 65. So I think you're right. I should probably just build a chariot. So I should take this to one turn away and not finish it. Is there anything else I need stone for? Not really. Like I said, I'm probably better off harvesting this and mining these tiles, just because, as I said, mines are so amazing. This will also finish the Suguba really quickly. Yeah, I should do that. And you know what? I should see how I'm like ready to purchase a market. I can purchase a market in Chiching, and then I can cash rush settlers out of here instead of making them walk down from Eastwatch. So why don't we do that? We'll harvest this. That'll finish the Suguba. Then we'll faith purchase the market in Chiching. All right, so this would be quarry, but that's only +1 production, so we can or here we go. Where is it? Harvest for 70 production. That'll finish that. Now we can faith purchase the market for 190, and now we're up to 222. 222 gold per turn. So now this city can. Why don't you do the monument? Why cash rush the monument if we can just finish the monument this way? And oh, it's very close to. I think it's only 1 point away from growth, actually. Really needs a trade route for extra food. Oh, we can just, or we could just build the settler right now. Sure, why not? We have 200 gold per turn. We'll go to this western spot first. Man, it's nice having all this money, isn't it? Mansa's so rich. We might need to get open borders with the Ottomans here to be able to explore that territory. All right, so you know, I was going to have you come down here and mine this tile, but I think, yeah, this is going to grow next turn. I think you can just improve that. Why don't you come down here? And this tile is going to be grabbed. This niter tile is going to be grabbed shortly. Why don't you improve that tile with your last charge? Still going to take a couple turns, but not much longer. And this builder can probably come over here and work on mint and iron bags. And unfortunately, and I guess money bags, though there's not much to do at money bags. It's kind of a weak city, as I said. Not much of a capital. Greatly overshadowed by dollar signs at this point. There's a lot of wonders in the game now. So yeah, we will need someone to build another trade route. And oh look, here's a good candidate for it. As much as I want to get the shrine done, I always have like more important stuff to build first. Or you can, you know, belay that. You build the shrine. Also, while I'm thinking about it, you put this campus down in this lovely +3 spot that you've grabbed recently. Why does it keep defaulting to religion on that sign? Go ahead and get me the shrine. Yeah, it looks like this was just grabbed. We just got the boost for rifling. Next city settled the Benjamins, Banana Beach. Let's make this one Banana Beach because this one has bananas. And then this one we can call the Benjamins. There we go. Oh, that's it. Okay. And we need to improve that niter tile, too. Jeez, make it rain. This is a very good city, too. Oh, so now we can swap up civics. Although I don't think that there's a lot I really want to change here. think the only one I really want to change is this. Just so I can use that 2-for-1 policy that I mentioned before. This could be useful too, but I don't think I want to swap anything else out for it yet. Keep this in mind for the future though. The reason for that would be it would add 2 housing here, which would be make it rain, keep growing, but I don't think the need is that great at the moment. Why in the world does it keep defaulting to religion? I don't have a religion. It's really weird that it keeps doing that. Anyway. So we need another civic, and I think that like I said, I wanted to go for this, the plus adjacency bonus. Or, well, the only problem with this is I don't really have enough policy slots to use it. Maybe I should just race for exploration. That is better. Well, I wouldn't mind getting the 2 caravels. I would prefer to boost that if I can. All right, Stirrups is 1 turn away from completion, so let's not finish that. That's where caravels are. Oh, we need 2 harbors for that. Kind of expensive. Check the avoid religion. Is that a box you can check? I didn't know that that's a box you could check. Anyway, so we do have a city to plant here, which we said we're gonna call Banana Beach. There we go. Let's see what districts we can put down. Sadly, there's no aqueduct eligible spot. We do want a harbor. This is a natural spot for a harbor district. We did get the district discount on it, even though it might seem expensive. We did get that. And this city's definitely going to need a trade route to help out. First things first, though, let's improve the coffee tile. Getting that free, so even though, so like let's just back up and talk about the ancestral hall here for a second. I have not built a single settler out of the city with the ancestral hall. That's supposed to be one of its benefits. If I highlight it here, see how it says plus 50% increased production towards settler in this city. I have not used that even one time, but by getting a free builder in every new city, this thing has been ridiculously valuable. Those free builders have been amazing. So just for the free builders alone, it's pretty crazy. And the builders are been coming out with 6 charges too. So it's like, yeah, pretty darn good. All right. See, this is one of my long-standing complaints with Civ 6. The only thing you can do on a flat ground tile that has no hill is farm. Like, there's nothing else you can do. I don't want to build a farm on this tile. It's not going to do much of anything. That's why I haven't farmed these tiles, but they're basically useless. Now, very late in the game, when I get all the way down here to conservation, I can finally plant forests, or where is it? Is that natural history? One of these lets me finally plant forests. It used to be at conservation. Did they move it up on the tech tree? And then once you can plant forest, you can actually do stuff with flat ground tiles, but it's so late in the game. Build farms on grassland hills. Where is the ability to plant forest? Here it is. Allows bidders to plant woods. It is still at conservation. But like, it's so late in the game, and it's really a shame that you can't do so earlier. Also, why am I not getting niter? I have niter tiles mined. I'm not sure why I'm not getting anything for that. So Desert Oasis has finished its initial district. That's good. So the question is, what else do we want? You know, this might not be a bad place to put down a holy site district. Just because the land is not terribly strong overall. Where did I put the commercial district? I put it here. Oh, okay. I could spend 100 gold to get +1 faith. That's probably not worthwhile to do. But I do want at least a couple of holy sites. Huh. Yeah, unfortunately, I would really want to put it next to the commercial hub. I should have put the commercial hub on this tile instead. So maybe I won't build a commercial hub, and maybe I won't build it in this spot. How about campus? Not really much better, unfortunately. And yeah, I'd really would like to get the, look at all these wonders no one's built yet. Temple of Artemis is still here. Would be worth building at some places just for the +3 housing. It's like the same cost as an aqueduct, virtually. Anyway. Yeah, sadly there's only one tile available for an aqueduct, and this city kind of does need an aqueduct. See, it's about to hit the housing cap. Unfortunately. That's going to grow into that tile eventually. Okay. So, I mean, this city does have good tiles to work. It can always work the Oasis tiles, too, later on. No. See, I can purchase the granary. I can't purchase a district. Iron Bags could build temple. Oh, you're saying Iron Bags could build the Temple of Artemis? Well, let's let it finish that campus first, but I think you're right that would be good, just for the housing, long term. Because I could, like, put it on that tile. Alright. We'll go for the holy site. Definitely feels wasteful to spend 100 gold there, but that's life. Alright, you are going to come over here and help out these cities. Oh, Moneybags. Oh, I need to mine this tile, because this is much better than working some of the tiles that Moneybags has. Although I guess Moneybags has been able to steal some tiles from over here. Yeah, all the desert tiles go to $signs, but like this tile I'm happy to go to the capital, so it actually has something useful to work. But, and yeah, should mine that desert tile too. Alright. Oh, settler's already moved. Dangerous fighting over here right next to a volcano. How many turns would it take to build that wonder? 12 turns? Well, if we're going to put it down, it should probably be here, because then it would get that pasture in range. All right, sure. It's a good suggestion, Dark Kuno. Wonder won't be around forever. The campus can always be built later. I could also always chop into it, too. There's a wood tile up here that I could use for chopping. I'm trying to think if there's a place I could move. Yeah, so why don't we do that? There's also forests here to chop as well. I'm going to be chopping these forests for sure. Well, this one will probably be lumber milled, but this one's on a hill. So why don't we move Magnus here just to get advantage of chopping at mint? Because we're not going to chop anymore at Moneybags. There we go. We could also potentially move Reyna's or Liang somewhere else too. Doesn't let you destroy all the trees. In theory, Magnus should have been established here at Chaching because I'm bulldozing all this stuff, but it's a little late for that already. Should have been thinking about moving Magnus here for chopping. Oh well. Look at all the culture here. Why is this getting so much culture? I didn't get a monument here, did it? Wait, what? Why does this? Oh, the city center is on a tile that has culture. That's why. I was like, why does this city have so much culture? That's good, though, because it's going to grab this tile quickly, which is a good tile. And I definitely need to mine that tile, too. It's a crummy tile to start, but once we get a mine on it, it'll be a much better tile. I'm also going to have to cash rush a granary in that tile. All right, so now the capital is actually back to being a fairly decent city. Let's get the heavy chariot out first so that we can then upgrade it into... so we can upgrade it into our unique unit later on. I know that that's worth a fair amount of arrow points, so I'll probably save it for the next era and then get arrow points for upgrading after that. All right, so Eastwatch. I think all of Eastwatch's tiles are improved for the immediate time being. The mall... All right, that tile can be mined in a turn or so. So why don't we just head there and be ready to mine it, because it's an excellent tile again. All right, looks like we're safe to get over to that city that's going to be the Benjamins. There we go. Not a great tile, but gives Moneybags something else to work. When it grows, that'll be the tile it picks up. Better than nothing. Oh, we found another city-state. Another, wow, yet another, construct a holy site. Nice. Well, we can get that for sure. We have a holy site under construction right now. Do we have the 2-for-1 policy in? Yep. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. What is below? What is this one's? Your districts with a building produce +1 great persons of that type. Now that's quite nice. This one is good to have for sure. Do have to have a building, but it's still pretty darn good. So Omani is stuck there. All right, so let's go ahead and get the 2-for-1 with Bologna, and then we'll get the holy site bonus shortly too. Wait, what the? How did she get up to 137 science? What the heck? Like, this is obscene. None of the other AIs are even in the same league with Sondiak. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's like she's playing a completely different game from the other AIs. This is absurd. Everyone else is like 30, 40, 30 culture. She's like, nope, 137 science per turn, 100 culture per turn. That's just nuts. How many texts has she actually finished? So she's researched 29 texts. I have 22. And it doesn't say how many civics. Well, we can figure this out from the scoreboard. Civics 63, so she's finished 21. And we finished 16. Yeah, I wonder if she's in a golden age getting some kind of bonus. Korea is really strong. They are like the science civ. They get half-cost science districts. All right, let's see if we can renew our friendship with him. All right, good. You have to renew it every 30 turns. So we just boosted Civic and Civil Engineering. All right, so the mall is now finished. It's Harbor District. That doesn't do a lot on its own, but once we get the Lighthouse, it'll actually be much better. So Lighthouses were really terrible in the release version of Civ 6, and they've been steadily buffing them over the 2 years since then, 2.5 years since then, and they've gotten much better. So now the Lighthouses are +1 food on all coastal tiles, +2 housing if the city is adjacent to coast, +1 trade route, and +2 gold, and +1 housing, and then +2 gold again for having 3 envoys with Cahokia. So this is a really good building. So basically, harbors are really good now, or lighthouses are really good now, and you 100% want a lighthouse in any city that's coastal, because like this will allow the city not have to worry about housing. So we'll do the lighthouse, and then we'll work on the campus district after that. All right, so we've got, you know what, we can transfer. I'm hesitant to transfer tiles away from our awesome, yeah, okay. So yeah, we shouldn't swap that away because that tile is infinitely better when it's at the Petro City. Yeah, did you see the difference? 1 food and 1 production compared to 3 food, 1 production, 3 gold. So we can mine this tile first. There we go, yep. Disgusting, I love it, 7 gold. Plus more salt. We've got another resource to trade away now. You can only use 1. Anything beyond that is just goes unneeded. So over here at Mint, we probably should mine this tile. And then after that, we'll chop and mine that tile. So why don't you come over here? We got to wait for Magnus to get established to chop there. We're almost ready to purchase another settler because we have, again, disgusting amounts of money. What's Ironbags looking to acquire in terms of tiles? All right, it will grab this tile eventually. What the? Oh, I'm like, what is this unit doing here? Apparently I moved the worker over there instead of the, move the builder over there instead of the settler. All right, you can just hang out here. We're also going to need a trade route down here just for road purposes. Like Cha-Ching and Make It Rain are not connected by road. We do have a trader being constructed somewhere, don't we? No, okay. Don't have a trader being constructed. We already have the market here, don't we? I thought that's what, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so we can cash rush another settler out of here shortly. Maybe as soon as next turn to go over for this spot. And then I've got to start thinking about where to send cities after that because we're getting getting close to the end of the map down here. So something down here would be good, down here in the non-Modal region. So someone's over here. There's another civ. I guess that's Korea is in that direction. Unfortunately, all the fresh water here is locked out. And this is rough from a loyalty perspective. That's about as close as I can go for right now. This is freshwater here, though. This might not be a bad spot. One, two, three. Well, I could put a city in the intermediate area first. Cities have to be 4 tiles apart. So like we could put a city here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another city down here. That seems worth doing. Let's pin this spot first. This is not going to be a great city by any means, but I mean it's got the horses. Oh, there's a hut there I never picked up. Whoops. Put a pin here. I mean, we might as well keep settling more cities if we can. This area in here is kind of a barren wasteland, but with an aqueduct it could be decent. Like a city here with an aqueduct on that tile would be okay. Because it does have some good first string tiles. Still, it's a low priority. Alright. This is probably about as far as we're going to get for the immediate future. And then we might look to start heading over, like in this direction. This is some rough terrain down here. Eventually I'll be able to trade with some... Oh, hey, and we finally healed this guy up. This area around Fez is a total... completely empty. No one seems to be in this area at all. Like if we do the zoom out map, how do we do that? No, not strategy. Full screen map. So here's the world map. I love the fact that you can add this in this version of Civ 6 in the expansions. So Fez is over here, right? There's no one anywhere in this area. This is like a very, very isolated part of the map. We've got control here. Korea obviously has more territory down here. Am I at the point where I can sign alliances with some of these? Because alliances reveal a lot of the map. She might be willing to purchase this. That sounds pretty good. Selling my excess luxuries. And then I've got that extra coffee too. Yeah, she doesn't have any, I guess we're not at the point to be able to sign alliances yet. And then let's see if anyone wants my extra coffee. I'm gonna need more than that. That's pretty good. Yep, just keep bringing in more money. There we go. Because, like, look, if you look at those deals, we're making another 43 gold per, no, 44 gold per turn from the other leaders. So, I mean, that does, that does add up. So we just make more and more and more money. Also, Liverpool's gone back and forth like 7 different times. So we can swap out this and go back to the 2-for-1 policy again. Where we have Merchant Confederation, which is also nice. But actually, this is probably a better policy. So, anything else? I think I still like all of these policies. I definitely want to keep serfdom in as long as I'm founding cities, since I get free builders every time I found a city. So I think I'll hold on to the rest of these for the time being. I do want to get this one in play, but not available yet. Jeez, I just cannot get over Korea's at 150 science per turn. No one else none of the other AIs are over 47. It's absurd how much science she has. And yet she doesn't seem to be pulling away in tech because the AI doesn't really seem to know what to do with its science. What are we doing in terms of great people? So we are going to get another merchant. We're going to get the Jacob Fugger for the extra gold and envoys. We're not going to get the first grade engineer, which is fine because the first grade engineer is not very, this is not a very good one. Biography. Obviously, we're not competing for generals or admirals. We're not competing for the great writers, artists, and musicians. You might say, wait a minute, aren't you going for a cultural game here? Why aren't you chasing after these guys? Well, that's because these are actually pretty poor ways to generate tourism. The real tourism comes from the archaeological museums and then the seaside resorts. As far as the great scientists, look, I'm making 3 great scientist points per turn. Korea's getting 20 points per turn. Yeah. England's getting 0. Macedon's getting 0. Korea's control over the great scientists is also helping her a lot. She's gotten, I believe, every great scientist in the game thus far. I'd really like to be able to sort by type on this list, but doesn't appear to be an option. So she got Isaac, I see. She got Isaac Newton. Universities produce +2 science. I'm sure that's part of the reason why she's getting so much. Anyway, so we'll head in this direction. Cartography. I would love to get this exploration, Civic, so I'm going to try to head in that direction, but let's go through guilds first. We also do have another governor, so I think what I want to do now is I want to grab Reyna for the first time. So her big thing right now is she's just going to allow a city to acquire tiles faster. And why am I not in my territory? Here we go. So I think I would like Cha-Ching to acquire tiles faster. I don't know how much faster it assigns them, but like this city's about to get a monument, and it also has an improvement that produces culture, so she should acquire the tiles very quickly there. This city has just finished its aqueduct. Boy, wow, this city Make It Rain is pretty awesome already. This city also needs to acquire tiles faster. Maybe I should have done it here. So what is it? What has this city built so far? Oh no, it built monuments. Okay, so now it'll expand borders much faster now that it has that done. Okay. So what do you need next? I guess you could go for your market, but no, let's... I guess you can't start another district yet, so why don't you work on your aqueduct then? I mean, it's not going to take that long. By the time you finish that, you'll be ready to start a district. Monty has a lot of... No, that's total... Yeah, that's total faith. He does not have 400 faith per turn. Thank goodness. All right, and I think it's time to buy another settler, so let's do that. And we'll have you go over to this spot. Poor Cha-Ching now, it's stuck at size 1 because we keep... stuck at size 1 because we keep purchasing settlers out of here. Oh well. Once it gets a trade route, you know, I could just purchase a trader in this city. How much does a trader cost? I might just purchase the trader right away because I need the extra food from the trade route. I might just do that next turn. And having the... so this we're actually going to build a lumber mill for because there's no hill underneath it. The other thing is, yeah, because I need the extra food, and having the road would help too. All right, you... Oh yeah, you were waiting here to mine this tile when the borders expanded, and now the borders have expanded. So you don't have a ton to do at the moment. All these cities kind of have all their immediate tiles improved. This is a rarity, right? More builders than I actually need. So why don't you just hang out here for the time being until one of these cities expands borders and grabs another useful tile. I guess I could, well, alternately I could chop and mine this tile, and that's not a bad idea because it would let me get started on the campus sooner. Sure, why not? Okay, so Banana Beach is now size 2. Yeah, we should go improve the fish. I actually haven't improved any water tiles the entire game, which should tell you something about the fact that water tiles are kind of weak. And then I definitely need to mine the salt next. The settler just created, can it be called Piggy Bank? That sounds fine. Just make sure to remind me so that I don't forget. Definitely a battle going on over here. Yeah, I need this to finish, and then I kind of need to get more traders out. Alright, so there's a new World Congress. The player chosen generates 100% more grievances, and the other players generate 100% more grievances towards this player. 50% fewer grievances. Sure. I have no idea how to... I don't know who the target is, though. Does it say who called the target? Well, let's see. Who's got the most? Suleiman has the most, so I'm assuming he's the one controlling this. So let's say it's probably Suleiman. That's just a guess. 100% of the city-states yield types when sending trade routes. Plus 100% when sending trade. Do not provide their unique suzerain bonus. I don't want this. I have no idea. This one, I literally have no idea. There's more scientific city-states than anything else, though. It's true. Civ 6 does have a lot of little bells and... Let's see. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't matter that much. Interesting. So Alexander was the one who got picked. So I did not succeed on this. I may have misinterpreted this since she chose Alexander. I think I misread how that worked. Okay, well at least I was right about the second one. So I did get one diplomatic point, diplomatic victory point from that. All right. Let's have you get to work on that campus, your +3 adjacency campus down there. All right. So Magnus will be established next turn, so why don't you just hang out here for that one turn? +1 food. Now, when I finish one of these techs, what is it? +2 food, +2 gold from fishing boat, so I will get more gold from that soonish. The fishing boat does provide a half point of housing, and if I go here, where's the housing? Here we go. See, I'm getting housing from improvement. I got a half point of housing from the fish and a half point from that plantation, so it was worthwhile to do that just for the extra housing there. But yeah, this city definitely needs more production, so you'll be seeing me mine these tiles for production. Okay. This will come close to finishing the lighthouse, I think. Yeah. Didn't finish it, but we'll come close. And then we'll mine that tile. All right. Make it rain. Working. a lot of its best tiles. 3 tiles first. Yeah, you should, it's better to grow a turn faster there. Alright, you should come back down here and work on the stone. Meanwhile, you head over here. Alright, so we said this one was going to be Benjamin's. Can you guys remind me? It was something about Benjamin's. Was going to be the name in here. Seeing if I can find it. Banana Beach. The Benjamins. The Benjamins was the name. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I know there's always the delay on Twitch. Alright. So this city being on the coast will benefit from having a harbor district. Now, unfortunately, I note that I am not getting the harbor district bonus here. I'm not getting the district discount. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want Magnus here because there's a lot of stuff to chop in this district. Also, there's no aqueduct spot available. So we don't want to chop here until we get Magnus available. But we did just get another amenity. So that's pretty nice. I will rebase Magnus over to the Benjamins. The other thing I wanted to do is, I said I was going to go ahead and purchase a trader here. Just so Cha-Ching would have extra food. And then so Cha-Ching would also get a road going up there to $signs. Alright. I actually kind of wish I was exploring over here because clearly that's where Korea's borders are. But this is where my scout is. Well, let's see if we can sign open borders with the Ottomans. So we can explore their territory. He should be pretty open to that, given that we're on good terms. Alright, he's willing to just sign straight up open borders. That's nice. So we'll go check out his territory. City names are themed. Yep. They're, I mean, I'm mostly asking chat what they want, but there's been a pretty consistent theme. Alright. So now that Magnus is established, we can go ahead and chop this. That'll finish that market there. More money for us. And I'll put the overflow, I guess, into the granary. I don't see anything else that's too urgent to build there. Well, I guess I could also finish, actually, you know what, let's finish another trader. Because we need 2 traders. And then we can do granary after that. Alright, so Moneybags finished. What is Apandana? 2+2 envoys? No, that's not that good. What is this one? This is new. This is the +3 envoys. Okay. I don't need envoys that badly. Also, at some point, we should just build the Colosseum because it's a great wonder and it's quite cheap at this point. I just need to put it in a spot where it would actually benefit. Maybe like, I was going to say maybe Desert Oasis, but Desert Oasis doesn't really have space for that. Eastwatch would need, Eastwatch already has 2 districts. Maybe for a 3rd district though, Eastwatch could put an entertainment district here, put the Colosseum here, that would reach a bunch of cities, something like that. We'll think about it. Meanwhile, capital though, we need to start unlocking the libraries and banks because cities like this are ready to work on them. I guess you can do your aqueduct in the meantime. Yeah, you just hang out here. Heavy chariot. Alright, now we can finish stirrups. There we go. Alright, that looks pretty good. So that city, that tile's worth a lot of gold, but not much in the way of production. I also want to reestablish Magnus. Let's go ahead and grab the governors. Now, do I have a promotion available? No. Magnus, reassign. Down here to the Benjamins. It'll take him 5 turns to get assigned. But we have stuff for the worker to do in the meantime, improving that tile. Let's get the trade route going to our favorite city, $signs. This will also build a road that we definitely can use through here. There we go. All right, you, where were you going? I don't even know what this unit was doing here. I thought I was going to, oh wait, I haven't actually improved a plantation on this tile. Okay. Well, I'm not actually working that tile, but still. It's definitely a tile that should be improved. Well, anyway. Now, is this tile a hill? Yes. Okay. Since this is a hill. Oh, he's on his last charge now. Well, since I'm on the last charge, I probably shouldn't finish this off until I have another builder available. I guess this builder can probably help out with that. I think I'll plantation that instead. Multiple great generals. Too bad the AI doesn't know what to do with them. So we actually have way more culture than science, even though I have not deliberately been doing that. I am trying to get some more campuses up. This is going to be worth 6 science, so that's nice. And we only need, and when we finish a holy site, we'll get more science from them too. Next envoy is going here into Geneva. Macedon has conquered and lost Liverpool about 6 different times. Alright, so we've got another trade route to play around with. We definitely want this to go to one of the new cities. We could take it to send it to the Benjamins or this new city. Let's send it to the Benjamins because we'll probably have another trade route ready to go by the time that this city is founded. Alright. Yeah, a little bit less gold here, but more culture. Help us expand borders faster. I forgot plantations are also worth +1 food now that we've made it further into the tech tree. And we have a lot of extra resources, so I should probably go around to the AI and try to sell some of them again. You should not chop anything until we get Magnus here, which will be shortly. 3.5, that'll have no trouble expanding out the borders. A lot of good time. I mean, there's so much jungle and forest here. That'll help the Benjamins advance along pretty quickly. All right. I can probably get this harbor done pretty fast. Like with Magnus here, if I just use a bunch of charges on chopping, like I should be able to knock out the harbor in like the next 5 or 6 turns. And then I can purchase, just purchase some caravels, and that would then boost Merchant Republic, so I can avoid wasting culture there. Staying away out of the bottom of the tree, because I don't really need most of this. All this stuff just leads to the Divine Right and Reformed Church, which is not really necessary at the moment. All right, so what did we finish here? Oh, we finished the, that's right, we finished Trader after we finished the market. Okay. You are going to need a granary, though, both for the food and for the housing. Not for the housing so much right now. Actually, and a watermill will be good here too, because I do have that rice that would take advantage of it. Actually, this is probably better because it's +2 food, +1 production. We can always go back to the granary after that. Good production here at Mint, but not much in the... Oh, what the? Why is it not working this tile? Okay. Definitely should be working that tile. Yeah. Because it's not at the housing cap yet, so we definitely want it to keep pumping along. All right, so we did finish the library. That was worth 6 science. Pretty nice. I'll do the granary for right now. So we seem to be okay on builder labor in the area. And I still like the idea of potentially getting a Colosseum on like this tile, because it would affect these 3 cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or maybe even Colosseum on this tile, because that would reach these 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would reach dollar signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, a Colosseum on this tile would be pretty awesome. And I have Forest to chop too to help that along. So let's keep that in mind. The AI often does not focus on the Colosseum. Even if I don't get the Colosseum, I wouldn't be bad just to have an entertainment district here, long term. Nice that it has pins for like every single wonder. Just keep that in mind for the future. Alright, so we still have 2 builds. Desert Oasis should be about to pop borders. Let's get over there. By the way, the 4 movement on the builders is just so nice. I've loved having that. Now here I could clear these rainforests. The only problem is there's nothing to put on these tiles as soon as they're cleared. They would just be a flat plains tile, which is a terrible tile. These will be seaside resorts later on. Like if I go to the appeal lens, which one's appeal? See how this has... does this have breathtaking? No, it doesn't have breathtaking appeal, but I can get it to breathtaking appeal. I think I can, anyway. It would certainly be breathtaking appeal with the Eiffel Tower. So later on, these will be seaside resorts someday for tourism purposes. But for right now, we'll just get what we can from this spot. I think I'll use the last charge on this wheat and farm it. This city's also going to need a granary, because it's going to hit the housing cap immediately. Could sure use a trader it too, but this is kind of like a long term, not a high priority city. More beautiful land over here. Super remote for me though. I don't know that I'd be able to get a city over here. Like, if I go to... What is the Empire lens again? Just shows you all the yields throughout your territory. Kind of neat. Not the greatest, though. What I was actually looking for was this, the full screen map. This area over here, basically on the other side of the world. Not easy for me to get to. I'd have to go through to the other side of Korea. Not really that viable, so... Nothing too spectacular. Okay. Oh wait, did I forget to renew my friendship with Korea? I think I did. Okay. Alright. And I also should see if she's willing to purchase some of these extra resources. 1 gold. Alright, no, she's not interested in purchasing resources right now. Alright, never mind. Let's see who else is, if anyone's interested. That's okay. Let's see if someone else can do better. Monty tends to like resources, as we know. Yeah, he loves happiness resources. Okay, I guess that's all he'll give me for right now. What's the new report with her? Facing a siege, facing a siege, facing a siege. $10 gold per turn, alright. 7 gold per turn. Better than anyone else is offering right now. And I guess I've already sold all my resources at this point. Okay. Moneybags is at the is at the housing cap again. No, do not work that tile. I'd rather have you work a specialist than that tile. Oh, look, it's finally going to expand out to a tile in the 3rd ring. That's good news. Alrighty, what do we want next? Diplo service. So how do I actually unlock an alliance with another civ? Car Wars. Where I thought that alliance. I thought I actually had something that unlocked alliances already. Anyone in chat know what it is that unlocks alliances? Because this unlocks more stuff, but... well, let's get this to halfway, because this is the one that we actually want. We also have new policies that we can change. The big one is we can get the plus 100% commercial hub district bonuses. That's good, but I don't think it's as good as plus 2 gold from all trade routes just yet. So I think I'm going to keep running with what I've got here for now. I've been pretty happy with this setup right now. Like, I'm just trying to see if I could sign, like... oh, wait, there it is, down there at the bottom. Alliances. Trade routes, trade routes. Okay, I have no trade route. I have a trade route going to some... where's my trade route list? I have a foreign trade route to someone. To Korea. Okay, let's see if I can get some kind of alliance with Korea then. She will accept that deal, okay. All right, works for me. That's an easy way to boost that tech. Oh, now I can see where some of her great people are located, or governors are located. The alliances are kind of interesting. Like, if you increase them over time, they get stronger. In the base game, an alliance would just instantly reveal their whole world map. Joint war. This is like my biggest competitor, but she's also someone I've had good relations with the whole game. So I could also build stuff like Great Lighthouse here. Not that it's that useful, this isn't much of a naval game. +1 trade route capacity. Eventually, this is like as cheap as a trader, but for now, it's not really worth it. Mausoleum. +1 science, +1 faith, +1 culture on all coastal tiles. Yeah, not that worth it. Let's just work on the campus district. This is a +3 adjacency campus district, so it's a pretty good one. All right, so I've got 2 builds left with this trader, or builder, excuse me. Probably the main thing to do is to just mine some more of these hill tiles, particularly like this one, which I can swap between Mint and Iron Bags. Iron Bags is a city that really just needs more food. It's very low on food. Do I have a trade route running here? No, I actually don't have oh no, yes I do. I have 3 food coming in from a trade route, or the city wouldn't be able to grow like at all. So... Temple of Artemis. Oh yeah, Temple of Artemis, right. Wait, does Temple of Artemis give food? I know it gives housing. Okay. So you have 4 builds left. Let's have you come over here. You'll chop and mine this, and then chop and mine this. All right. What are the international options, by the way? So, like, look at these trade routes that I can run to foreign cities. Not bad, if I wanted to. However, I would prefer to run it, again, just back to $ for +3 food, +3 production. By the way, once that campus finishes, trade routes to this city will be +4 food, +3 production. And, of course, this will also build me a road from the Benjamins up there, which will be nice, too. Oh, and we have apparently we have another trade route that we can finish too. Oh, no, never mind. It's running through the water. Okay, well, that's annoying. Oh, look, there's a random Ottoman builder wandering around. Okay. Fair point. You did suggest it last stream. 2 turns. So I have a ton of money, so I should definitely keep spending it. It does not help to just have the gold sit around doing nothing. So Banana Beach needs a granary to keep growing. Not going to be able to otherwise. And Cha-Ching can purchase another settler that we can send down here. Or here. We definitely want to keep pushing expansion. Poor Cha-Ching. At least now it has a trade route that's causing it to get additional food. Yeah, see, now it's got 9 food per turn. But I am going to have to keep hitting this city for settlers. So sorry about that, Cha-Ching. You're back to size 1 again. But you'll grow back to size 2 very quickly. Thanks for taking 1 for the team. And you need your granary. There we go. But like I'm getting to the point where in these new cities, as soon as I finish the campus district, I can just purchase the library instantly because the library is not that expensive. And once I get more governor promotions... Oh, I actually do have a governor promotion to spare. So what we want to do right now is we want to start pumping up Reina, because this is the one we want. Contractor, allow the city to purchase districts with gold. So yeah, that will eventually allow us to put Reina in a new city and then just buy the districts and then buy the buildings. So we can pretty much make any city awesome immediately. So we're going to go with this one first. +2 gold from each unimproved feature. We can also use this eventually. Tiles adjacent to unimproved features receive +1 appeal. We'll also be able to use that to get more seaside resorts, because I'm assuming that once I get a seaside resort, like if I can boost the appeal up to 4 for a seaside resort, if I then reassign Reina to another city, it's not like the seaside resort disappears afterwards. It's still going to be there. So that'll be helpful too. So this settler's going to come down here for this city. And then we'll either go here or... What was the other one? Other spot right here. Let me just pin this spot too while I'm thinking about it. This is actually a better city spot, but I want to go for the closer spot. For wait, no, that's only 3 tiles away. Never mind. This spot here. Just keep building cities in a line down here. Just keep expanding. Keep getting more cities. Oh, he really wants this niter. Okay, sure. It's just sitting around doing nothing for me. Accumulating. So yeah, sure. Have fun with that. You and you wacky kid. Korea's looking to settle again. Oh, we have a great person. So we've now picked up another envoy here. Hey, and that's our 3rd great person, boosting the enlightenment. Your recruitment of great people is becoming a real problem. Oop, well, sorry about that. $signs is out of housing again, no surprise. We have, what we're going to do is we will, as soon as we get into a new government, we will be able to pick the this one, Civil Prestige, and that'll provide +2 housing in that city. So that'll help with that. +1 era score for landing that. So we still have not triggered the start of the next era yet. If I need more era score, I will upgrade this this chariot into my unique unit, and that'll be worth some era score. But so what does he do? Gain 2 envoys. Okay, yeah, let's just trigger that right away. There's no reason to hold on to that. So what can we do now? So what we want to do is we want to use these 2 envoys to get Geneva's 3 building benefit. That's the main thing we want right now. So I want to swap off cartography because I've boosted that to almost halfway. Let's go for education next. I would like to be able to build universities. That'll be one of the next big things I try to build. I cannot boost that. I definitely can't get a great scientist anytime soon. Look how expensive it would be. Maybe I'll get it someday, but not anytime soon. All right, so Cha-Ching has finished its monument. I guess I could get a granary for the extra housing here. Yeah, it might as well work on the granary, and the reason why is because it's it doesn't need the housing, but the +1 food would be nice, and it's not going to get to size 4 anytime soon, not with me rushing settlers out constantly. So we're not sending an envoy until we can flip into the 2-for-1 policy, which will be in a couple turns. So this city's now done. And we wanted to name this one Piggy Bank, from what I remember. Your civilization has become the largest in the world. Nice. So here's the question. Can I put an aqueduct down? Nope. See, even though this tile would be aqueduct eligible, you cannot put an aqueduct over a resource tile, which kind of sucks, but that's the game, so c'est la vie. We will want to put a harbor district down here. I don't think... Well, you know, I could put a Suguba down on this tile. Sugubas are much better. It's a little weird to have it way over here, but yeah, sure, why not? I already have a series of harbors. I don't need another harbor. All right. Yeah, sorry about that random Ottoman worker. This city is not going to have too much production, though. So we really should get a monument in here, because it's... Oh, wait, never mind. It has good culture, so it doesn't need a monument. It'll expand borders relatively quickly, but it is going to be a low production city. We'll need a granary, too. Meanwhile, you are going to come down here. So why don't you just get started? Magnus still needs 2 more turns to get established before I can chop out this harbor. So this worker's just chilling until that happens. Oh, and I didn't rename him. Yes, thank you. Thanks for the reminder. This one was Piggy Bank. All right. So, as far as what tiles to work here, as long as the city's still growing, this mostly looks okay. Let's keep these locked. 4 turns until growth. All right, keep this because it's 3 turns until growth. Keep the city coming along. So we don't have a ton of time left. I think I will try to play up until Temple of Artemis finishes in 4 turns, and that might be a good stopping point for this game. All right, you just hang out here for the time being. We would not be able to defend if non-Madol decided to attack, but fortunately we're suzerain of non-Madol, so we don't have to worry about that too much. This is going to pop next turn. Borders are going to expand. Eastwatch, also I'm just like keep growing in population. I guess I could technically improve this tile too, because this city is working it, so I might as well get down there soonish. Yeah, nice income, right? Mansa's pretty... This is what Mansa does. His production's not very good, but wow, does he make money. More stuff up here. It's just empty lands. Helped out significantly by... Oh my god, why does it always default to that? By our favorite city, $signs here. You know, I need to get one of these hills mined too, because this tile is actually fairly weak. I get a much better yield if I mine these tiles. So I will need to slip a builder over there too. At some point soon. Maybe this builder can come over and work on it. I think I've got enough tiles improved in this area. Iron bags looking good. Oh, no, never mind. Iron bags is working an unimproved tile there. Let's swap this tile over from mint. There should be something here. Oh, no one's using this tile. Okay. Well, iron bags, how about you take that tile back then? Yeah. After all, you are going to have Temple of Artemis. So that looks good. And then we need more food in here somehow. You guys said Temple of Artemis will help with that. Your people could consider elsewhere. Oh, this is a good question. So he doesn't like how close that city is. We'll take the diplomatic favor for right now. So we're finally getting to the end of the medieval era. But I think I can get one more point of era score in the next however many turns. All right, so we got an envoy with Bologna. And so that has gotten us up to the 3 envoy mark with them. And Geneva will be able to get, as soon as we get into our next civic swap, we'll have the same thing with Geneva. Because we'll be able to drop the 2, we have 2 unused envoys. We'll drop in the 2-for-1 policy and grab that as well. And at that point, we'll be getting plus 8 science from each library. And that's kind of how we'll look to catch up. I mean, we're blowing away the field in science with the exception of ridiculous Korea. So this city, again, for some reason is not working that tile. I don't know why it keeps doing that. There we go. Like, why would you stop working that tile? Whatever. I guess it happened when I swapped tiles over there. Here we finished the holy site. And we are at the health cap, so why don't we do the granary? Also could get the aqueduct down, but I'll do the granary first. Long term, I will need the aqueduct, though. Sadly, I have to replace that mine. We also have enough money to purchase a market somewhere. I think I'm going to do it here, because if I want to expand in this direction, I will want to purchase settlers out of Desert Oasis. Alright, so Ottomans didn't want me to expand anywhere close to them. Hopefully this will not count as a spot close to them. We'll see. I can probably grab this spot and then this spot. So we're also getting close to the end of this era where we've got the cheap settlers to purchase, which is kind of sad. But we will definitely take the policy that increases commercial district. We'll get science from commercial district adjacency bonuses. That's what we'll take for the next era. But I think that I definitely was right to take monumentality in this era. It's been just awesome. All the cheap settlers have been really good for this era. So I want to get over here. Now you don't have a ton to do right now. You could maybe you come over here and help Cha-Ching, because Piggy Bank is okay for the moment. Piggy Bank could use a trade route pretty badly. That's another city where a trade route would help it out a ton. Although, then again, Cha-Ching is not really growing in size, so I'm not sure improving more tiles is needed there. Oh, you know what I could do, though? I could, if I purchase this tile, I could, like, swap the... I could start swapping this tile over to Piggy Bank. I will probably do that long term. This tile would be the better one, because this is a hill tile that can be chopped and mined. Anyway. So yeah, it's working that tile. No production, though. I do want to get a settler out of here next turn for 880. So I can do that next turn. I can still easily spend more money on other stuff, too. I can probably get 2 more settlers before this golden age runs out in 8 turns. 1 out of Cha-Ching. That would cover these 2 spots down here. Wouldn't cover this one. Well, actually, yeah, if I have 2 more, I could cover both of those spots. And I am running up against kind of like the natural limits of my territory, because I'm getting close now to Ottoman territory, and there's Korean territory over here too. We can tell it's nearby because of the loyalty issue. Maybe I need to grab this spot next and backfill to that spot. We'll see, just to make sure before Korean loyalty starts to become an issue over there. All right, gonna grab the crabs. No, see, the problem is that's not really a very good tile. All right, let's purchase this tile. This one right here. Use you to clear this, and then we'll mine it. And then we can do this. So that was really helpful. Not only did we get a pop point, not only did we get much closer to finishing this, now we can also work this tile at size 2. So that really, really helped that city's development along. Very slowly scouting out Ottoman territory. Yeah, you just chill here for the time being, Archer. Scouting can take forever in this game. So we finished a trade route to Eastwatch. All right. Another World Congress. Well, some people spent quite a bit of diplomatic favor on this. I'm just holding on to mine, because there hasn't been much I've wanted. If we do not stand united. Downvoted by Alex and Monty. Okay. Let's see what we've got. A volcano. All right, good. Magnus has now been established. Got a trade route done in Eastwatch. I want to keep this trade route running, and we can now build another trade. Joy, I really need to get more traders out, don't I? Been trying to build them, but I've been unable to keep up with demand. So now this, actually I was wrong. This city grew all the way to size 3. We need to get a granary in here, but I think, and I needed to get a granary in this city too, didn't I? Or did I already, I guess I already purchased one here. But let's get the settler first. Poor Cha-Ching gets to fall on its sword once again. Sorry, Cha-Ching. At least you go back to size, at least you go back to size, whatever you call it, size 2 next turn. I've been very mean to that city though. All right, so chop. There we go. So this knocks out half of the cost of the harbor, and then I'm going to move here and chop that next turn, and that'll finish the harbor. And then we'll have the boost for, whatchamacallit, exploration I do need to swap off of, though. Go back to diplomatic service. Thanks for hosting, Frog Mary, by the way. Now here's something that's really dumb about Civ 6 with its 1 unit per tile moves rules. I actually can't move onto this tile with this settler because it's already occupied by a civilian unit. So that kind of sucks. So what we'll do is we'll go here, and it's probably faster just to embark down the coast anyway, to be honest, rather than walking through the jungles. So we'll just embark and travel down here. I am going to probably grab this spot first and then use the trailing settler for this spot, just because I'm worried about Korea grabbing that one. All right, so here's dollar sign. You know, dollar signs, does this city really need a trade route? Because it's already such a strong city. I'm not sure it really needs it that badly. So this trader can probably be rerouted somewhere else that's more useful. Like Piggy Bank would benefit from having a trade route really pretty significantly since it's a brand new city. All right, you come over here and mine that tile. Well, I guess we're not getting through there. Our scout being in the way is going to mess up their little operations too. And you might as well come down here and improve that crab tile. So I haven't built any builders in a while. I've just been getting them for free from every new city. And that's been sufficient. But yeah, some of these cities, all right, so I've got, yeah, I'm gonna have Moneybags finish, I'll have Moneybags finish a trader and, or start a trader, and dollar sign start a trader because I need them for some of these cities. Also, the mall has now hit size 7, which means it can place another district. I have to think about where I want one. I think this city wants a theater square because it's next to a natural monument. Or a natural wonder, excuse me. It could benefit from that. Although I guess not. Well, I can always think about it more later. I do need to get theater squares for a lot of cities at size 7 when they get their 3rd district. A lot of them will build theater squares because I'll need them for archaeological museums later. Yes, you can establish an embassy. That's fine. Relieved to see your empire poses no threat.
When I saw the house of Artemis,
so good call, Dark Kuno. We did get Temple of Artemis.
The marvels lost their brilliancy, and I said, lo, apart from Olympus, the sun never looked on aught so grand.
So we'll definitely get era score for this. That'll pop us over into a golden age for the next era, which is a good sign. There we go. So now we have enough for the next era. All right, so let's see what that actually did for this city. Temple of Artemis. +4 food, +3 housing. Each camp, pasture, and plantation within 4 tiles produces +1 amenity. Yeah, that's what this city needed really badly. It has great production, but it needed housing and it needed food desperately. So yeah, now it'll be able to grow. Although for some reason it's showing 23 turns to growth right now. Maybe it just hasn't kicked in yet. Yeah, it can't take. Wait. I don't know if, wait. Oh, you know what? I have to reassign its trade route. That's it. There should be a trader. There's a trader I have to reassign there. That's why it looks so slow. All right, you, trader. Fortunately, only 5 turns. Yeah. And you, trader. Are you size, no, you're not size 6 yet. Okay. In that case, while we're waiting the 5 turns for you to grow, you can do a watermill. Do you have a tile? Yeah, because your rice tile will get boosted by that and get an extra food. Right before it went away. All right, so you go back to the campus. Here we go. And now you go to, yeah, go to dollar signs. Look, dollar signs, just so awesome for my other cities. +4 food, +3 production. That's really amazing. There we go. Meanwhile, speaking of dollar signs, there we go. 2 food, 2 production at the housing cap. But as I said, I'm going to be able to run policies that'll get more housing into here soon enough. Still growing. Still needs to grow into more of those desert hill tiles. But what an incredible city. 61 gold per turn. 52 gold from work tiles. Along with 29 beakers. I still don't even have a library in here yet. That's just from the campus itself. All right, Make It Rain is expanded borders. It can now build a second district. So the question is, what do I want? You know, this would not be a bad spot for a theater square for its second district. The other argument would be I could think about doing an industrial zone for down here, but I think Cha-Ching might be good for an industrial zone. Like put one here, and that'll extend to cover all the cities in the area. So let's do theater square. We already have the market for the Suguba. No, we don't have the market for the Suguba. All right, we'll have to get that later. I can potentially faith purchase that later. Oh, and we've got, okay. So forget about improving that tile. How about you improve, well, I was going to say improve this tile, but I think I'd prefer to chop this, honestly. Can chop this towards Colosseum later. So with that in mind, until we chop it, we'll put the lumber mill on it. Until we chop it later on. All right. So you get over here. You chop and finish that. There we go. Now we've boosted cartography. Now we can finish that. And now I'm going to reestablish Magnus over here because I'm going to look to chop at Piggy Bank next. This tile in particular looks like it's prime target for chopping. So Magnus. Magnus is on the move a lot. Even though it'll probably just be 2 or 3 tiles, like the city's going to grab, yeah, it's going to grab some of these tiles next. Even if it's just 2 or 3 tiles, it's still worth it to reassign Magnus. All right, yeah. So we've got that, and the lighthouse is definitely what we want first. That lighthouse is pretty darn good. It says 18 turns, but the city will do it much faster than that, particularly because I'm going to mine these 2 hill tiles. And we will need some more builders out of here soonish. So you also come over here and start embarking. I have 3 builds left with this guy. All right. Well, let's get that out of the way first, because that's another tile that will want to work. Yep. Good stuff here. Look at these 3 tiles. Suguba's already down to just 7 turns needed. And we definitely need, it's already at the health cap, so let's get the granary in there. That'll get it back to growing again. And then next up, I think I'll probably chop and mine that with Magnus. Here we go. All right, so back to our favorite city, dollar signs. This will also give us a longer road connection here too, which will also help. There we go. So now Piggy Bank is pretty good city. And I've got to think about what do I want the second district to be. Perhaps a campus district, just to keep science going. But I don't need as much science for this game because this is a cultural game as I would in some other game. Oh, we found a religious city-state. That's not bad. Pretty great scientist. Unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen. That would be useful to get the 3 envoy bonus just for my shrine buildings. Because I do have 2 holy sites. I'll probably build a couple more before the game's over. Just to get a little bit of extra there. And you were just hanging out exploring. All right. So we did finish the Wonder. We did finish Temple of Artemis. And if you look at Moneybags, now it's just got 8 turns until growth. And it should be working all improved tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Good production city, 20 production per turn. And it just needs to, it's got plenty of housing. It just needs to keep growing onto more tiles. I'll probably run a second trade route through Ironbags just for food eventually, because this city is very food poor, but production, very strong from production. Also, it has a really strong campus over here, a 4-science campus. So looking forward to finishing that too. In terms of science, we're now way ahead of everyone in the field except Korea. We've caught up with Korea in culture effectively. I guess we're slightly behind, but we are still behind. We've also caught up to Korea in military. By the way, the AI has been wasting military strength like crazy. Remember how Alex was over 1,000 and Monty was at like 800? So yeah, they've lost units while we've just have not lost units. That said, England has lost 2 cities. So England is not in great shape in this game. And we have expanded quite a bit. We already have 2 settlers en route to these locations, and we definitely will be able to get out one more. Definitely be able to get out another settler before we run out of this golden age, which I would probably send here, and then I'll have my southern border basically locked down. I don't think I'll be able to expand much further in this direction. We can look to put more cities in this direction later, which will be useful for seaside resorts, because some of this territory is pretty crummy overall, but is prime seaside resort territory for later in the game. And of course, there's always room for more territory. Like maybe someday I'll put a city over here, just again for more seaside resorts later on. We'll see. But I think I'd be in pretty good shape. None of the AIs are really that threatening at this point from a military perspective. I would be able to upgrade my units to crossbows, and that should be enough to hold off anybody. If you want to look at the tech tree, Korea is not that far ahead. So Korea has one of these techs, I guess. Whereas, again, I've caught up to everyone else. If we look at the city list here, she has total techs. How many is she ahead? I'll say here. She has 32 techs researched. We have 24. Okay, that's 8 techs ahead. That's pretty significant, but we are ahead of everyone else in techs researched. Unfortunately, you can't see how many civics everybody's researched. You have to look at the score. She's researched 22, and we've researched 18. So again, we're not that far behind. Does Scientific Alliance let you see her tech tree? I don't think so. You can always see what era they're in. So she's in Renaissance era. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I know this was on a Sunday, not at our normal time. Again, I wasn't sure if I would be able to stream on Friday. I do not know. I will probably not have time, but we'll see what happens. So thanks again. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys again soon. Until then, have a good one. Take care. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.